Good morning, good morning. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to our 17th Icebreaker edition. This time we will deep dive into the topic of IoT in GreenTech, but of course not alone, just by myself. I'm happy to welcome Aurora from Hub31, who organized and co-hosted this event with me. She's probably also going to say a few words about her and Hub31 in general. And here, of course, our 5 startups, Imre from RA-Tech, Mario IoT Venture, Tony from BillionLives, Philo, Aurora, and Tolga wiCow. Thanks for being here and really looking forward to your pitches. So, but before we start, let me shortly introduce you by myself and to you in general. I'm Marian, I'm community manager at TechQuartier. And we are, or TechQuartier in general, is an innovation broker and ecosystem builder based in the heart of Europe, based in Frankfurt City. And as an innovation platform, we are connecting different stakeholders like startups, corporates, investors, universities, together to advance and develop the innovation process and entrepreneurship. So therefore, our vision is to empower a community-driven innovation community and make the society more greener, more open to digital topics, and to bring the whole innovation process in a further station. So what that concretely means, well, we provide several benefits from visibility for sure, like this event is, but also a networking, matchmaking, and also a co-working office spaces. So if you are a startup or know any startups, we are always happy to welcome new startups at TQ and to be part of our community. But before I go further introducing our startups for today, I pass the word to Laura and Hub31.
Thank you, Marian. So I will share my slides too.
Yeah.
No.
So no.
So now it's possible. No.
Still not possible?
It's deactivated. But that's okay. I can.
No, now you can.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I see your slides here.
Just give me a second to get it right. So now, hi everybody. Thanks, Marian. I'm Laura. I'm the CEO from Hub31 in Darmstadt. So I will give you now a very short overview what Hub31 is doing and what Hub31 is. So it's a technology and startup center in the Hilper Street 31, so the name, in Darmstadt near Frankfurt, and you can call it like a kind of home for innovations. Our initials are the Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the City of Darmstadt. Hub31 was built in 2017, and we are a part of the Digitalstadt, so the digital city strategy. At the moment, we've got around about 50 startups that rent office space or workplace at the co-working, like Philo, who will talk later. And beside that, we've got over 4,400 square meters with office space, workplace, co-working, accelerator, conference rooms, and lab workshops, where our startups, for example, can produce and develop their prototypes here at the place. The advantage for the startups is, beside that, our community. So with events, personal coaching, mentoring, or network, we support them and help them to grow. And with partners and sponsors, they are the main part to realize that. So if you have questions, please contact me every time, and we can talk about Hub31 and your startup. But now enough from me. Let's hear what the 5 startups will present us. Thanks you.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, before we jump into that, let me shortly introduce our startups. So you should see my screen, right? Perfect. So yeah, let's go with our startup. First, we got Imre from RA-Tech, who's taking the building's technical management to the next generation by ensuring highest indoor climate comfort and energy efficiency with AI on top of the existing automation system. Second, we will listen to Mario from IoT Venture, who are offering integrated IoT solution to B2B clients like manufacturers, retailers, and e-commerce platforms, followed up by Tony from BillionLives, who will show us how their products and solution make an impact on the societal factor. Next, Philo will tell us about his mission to sustainably improve human health and quality of life through the use of cutting-edge technology. And finally, Tolga will finish with wiCow smart state-of-the-art devices for early warning and health tracking technology for cattle and buffaloes. So let me shortly give you a short summary of the Icebreaker format. Well, the Icebreaker format is a theme-based startup showcase, which are organized with a partner from our ecosystem to join forces, strengthen the relationship with in the ecosystem, combining our communities, and introduce different startups to you in this showcase format. So this time, as mentioned before, with our partner Hub31. To the Icebreaker itself, concept quite simple: 5 startup, 5 pitches, and short Q&A afterwards, with the goal to provide visibility, feedback, and connections. So here I would like to appeal to you guys again. So if you want, we wanted to make it as interactive as possible. So feel free to unmute yourself, ask questions in the Q&A section, or write it into the chat. So quick side note before we start: the event will also be streamed and live recorded via YouTube. So just you will be aware of it. So enough monologue from my side. Let's jump right into the pitches. Imre, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Marion, and hello everybody. Just a moment, I will share my screen with you, and it will be a bit more interesting. So I believe that you can see my screen now. So hello again, my name is Imre-Gustav, and I'm a co-founder of RA Technologies. Buildings account for 40% of energy-related CO2 emissions. The only way to reduce CO2 emissions is to cut energy consumption. At the same time, indoor climate is a main priority in every building. So the main question is how to save energy and increase indoor comfort at the same time. RA Technologies has a solution for that, an artificial intelligence-based software solution, RA Digital Operator. How does it work? For the first step, we integrate our software to the building automation system remotely, according to the highest IT security standards. It doesn't matter what brand of building automation system you have, we are able to connect it in a secure way, and we don't need any additional hardware for that. Our solution is a cloud-based software. We use the data of the building automation system to create valuable insights. And the most unique, we adjust settings automatically to optimize comfort levels and energy usage. The more complex the building is, the better results we can achieve. And the most important, all decisions of our digital operator are made according to 3 main key performance indicators: energy efficiency, indoor comfort, and building's technical condition. With that, we are able to make sure your heating, ventilating, and cooling system is running as it should be, the most efficient way. Some words about the connectivity issue as well. For the first, we just secure or we use secure VPN tunnels between the building automation system and our cloud-based software. And also we have developed APIs for every single building automation system to read and write. In addition to our technology, I would like to say some words about RA technologies also. We were born in Estonia in 2017, and we are active across Europe. There are no geographical limitations for us. Our clients are located all over Europe, from Finland to Portugal. RA technology software is integrated to over 1 million square meters of commercial buildings already, shopping malls, office buildings, and hotels like CBRE, Radisson Blu, WeWork, and many others. Probably interesting to see one case study as well. This is a modern office building in Estonia, built 3 years ago. It has an advanced automation system, almost 3,000 controllable heating, ventilating, and cooling components, and 50,000 data points. It is clear that no human operator can run this system the most optimal way, but our digital operator can. And as a result, RA Technologies was able to increase indoor comfort from 60% level to 90% level and save over 30% of total energy costs. Cutting over 200 tons of CO2 emission in 4 months is a remarkable number also. And all this without any additional hardware or any investment. What makes RA Digital Operator unique? For the first, remote setup without any additional hardware. Also, there is no obligation for a new user interface. We offer results instead of just monitoring or analytics. And finally, results are enterprising. Our business model has been developed to get the best out of the building. After the integration, we just listen to your building for a month to check if the technical systems are functioning well. After that, we know exactly what works and what are the shortages. And then we will launch our autopilot to optimize your energy usage and report the results we have achieved on a monthly basis. RA Technology is a strong and reliable partner. Without our satisfied clients, different awards and certificates are a clear proof of that. Thank you for the attention. And if you have some questions, I'm ready to answer.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Imre. So if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself or use the chat function. Yeah, so we got Marco raising his hand.
Hi, yes, thank you for your presentation. Maybe I didn't get the message right, but what is the integration advantage? So within the PropTech technology, I think all the manufacturers of energies, of elevators are thinking more in apps or whatever. So is your approach to, let's say, to help this automation force, or is your approach more to see with new automation things like cost savings, like energy? Please give me a view. What is your purpose? I didn't get it.
So the main point in our case is that we just replace human operators by artificial intelligence, because the efficiency gap between humans and computers is, if you like it or not, but it's huge. And for that, we just use the existing infrastructure of the building. So we don't add anything to the building. We just connect our software to the building automation system remotely, like I mentioned, no hardware needed. And then we just start reading, make analysis, new calculations, and write back new set points if needed. So I can give this kind of sample for you that let's take 20,000 square meters shopping mall or office building. Every month we make about 20 to 30,000 adjustments in set points. So it's very clear that no human is able to do it, even if they knew what are the right set points, because everything is changing. Climate is changing, energy prices are changing, people are moving inside buildings. So there are so many things we have to take into consideration to understand what are actually the right set points. And we do it every 15 minutes. So yeah.
That would need, just to use your example, cost savings is because of the manpower, okay, because it's automation, because there is a artificial intelligence in your software, in your tool, okay. The other thing is what kind of settings and achievements you do. So meaning for cost savings, for energy, it's easy that you automatically, let's say, generate the right temperature, okay. For the light, maybe the same, maybe also for shadow effects. Is this the point, or is there something different?
Of course, we are working just with heating, ventilating, and cooling, so lighting is not our business. But the main idea is, of course, in energy efficiency. If you get right set points, then it means that you can save energy cent by cent. The case study I presented for you, then we just made this kind of calculation that every set point change we made automatically saved 5 cents for a client of energy costs. But as we did over 600,000 set point changes in 4 months, of course, it's a bit extreme. Typically in a modern buildings, it's not needed to make so many set point changes, but yes, sometimes it's needed. And as every set point change really made 5 cents of savings, so it's so small money that if you even find a 5-cent coin laying on a street, I wouldn't even pick it up. But if you get like hundreds of thousands of 5-cent coins, then you just pick all this up, and finally, in this case, we just saved 40,000 euros if we turn it to the money in 4 months. And like I mentioned, no investment needed for that, just efficiency.
All right, thank you for the answer. Thank you for the question, Marco. One next question before we get right into the next startup is from Irina, who asked, when you need to add hardware like sensors to the buildings to optimize measurement?
So our main focus is modern buildings. So it means that in most of cases, all the needed infrastructure has been installed already. And of course, it includes different sensors, because the more information we get from the buildings, the better decisions we can do. At the same time, of course, in some cases, we also give recommendations for clients, especially if we speak about CO2 sensors, because in many, even very modern buildings, there are no CO2 sensors. I even don't speak about humidity sensors. And we just give recommendations that, for example, in this area, if you really would like to have a better indoor climate, it's really worth to install, let's say, 1 or 2 CO2 sensors, and we have a better overview what's going on in this room or in this area. Because if you happen to know something about ventilation, then of course it's possible to calculate with air volumes as well. But anyway, if there are sensors, always better for us. So the more we can measure, the more data we have, the better decisions we can make, the better results we can offer for our clients.
Thank you very much. Was it clear for you, Irina, or do you have further questions? Well, if you have, we can talk in the open discussion later on with Imre, or you can exchange. So that's also possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, perfect. She said, all right. Thank you for the answer. Then we would jump right into IoT venture and Mario.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, that's a good connection for us, because what I'm going to present is mainly the hardware part. So the question and what Imre just said offers me a good start. So thanks for having me. We are IoT Venture, and as the name says, we are venturing into most of IoT use cases possible via a new hardware that we provide. So basically, coming from our starting point, everyone knows of the importance of change in cities in regards to climate change. 80% of energy consumption comes from cities, about 75% of global CO2 emissions. And that's going to grow further because the world population in cities is growing by 2030. 66% of world population is expected to be in cities. And there are two main factors. In cities, for these CO2 emissions. The first one is transportation, obviously, and the second one, as Imre already pointed out, is buildings. So in that regard, we as IoT Venture, we offer two solutions for that right now with our two brands, It's My Bike and It's My Property. Even though we have these two brands, our main focus is B2B. So we work together with other B2B companies and provide our hardware and software as an embedded system to them. So on the one hand, one of our biggest use cases right now is the bike use case. Our hardware we provide together with our software and our new pioneer technologies in terms of narrowband IoT and LTE-M offers new solutions to bring the bikes into the internet with our first use case, theft protection and security. So basically we have two options, either to offer it to OEMs. They support the bikes with it right out of the gate. The other option is the refitting solutions for providers out in the field to refit it to bikes, mainly e-bikes. We have a solution for non-e-bikes, but e-bikes are our main field right now. And with that solutions right now, just to give you a short example in regards of theft protection, we don't only offer the hardware and the software to show the bike in an app, but also have services on that. For example, our recovery service with our bike hunters. And just to give you a short number, in Germany right now, about 6% of bike thefts are recovered by the police. With our solution, we right now have a success rate of 80%. So the bikes stolen, which have our It's My Bike tracker in them, we can recover them in 80% of all our fields. The other field we are in, obviously, is property solutions with our hardware, especially to measure what Imre just said, stuff like temperature, moisture, and door statuses in buildings. Why is our technology good for that? We are based on narrowband IoT and LTE-M, and this gives us a great advantage towards other hardware in terms of especially low energy consumption and therefore longer battery durations, and on the other hand, lower costs for the connectivity. So it gives us a good chance to provide connected devices for different use cases at a lower cost and longer and low energy consumption. For example, in terms of the bike, it gives us the chance to, without recharging the bike, even without recharging an e-bike, to recover the bike, even though it has been, for example, now in the winter, standing for 5 months. If it's stolen afterwards, we can still recover it because our energy consumption is so low in that regard. How do we do that? It's not only hardware, but it's also software, because our hardware is combined with our software, both in backend and front end, and that gives us the chance to provide an integrated solution, which is ready to use for all our customers. Right now, we besides the PropTech field, also good to know for you guys, we also provide dog tracking. This new use case came up because the German retailer Fressnapf asked us if we can track dogs also, which is going to be a huge field for the next year, live tracking of dogs. So our hardware is in that regard usable for a lot of stuff. On the other hand, right now it's made in Germany. As Laura pointed out, we're in Darmstadt in the Hub31. We also have a small production there. All of our other production partners are in Europe. And this gives us an advantage in terms of time to market and integrating hardware and software. Just a short note on our business model. We provide multi-layer opportunities because we have the embedded system and the data platform on that regard. And then this gives us the chance on API-based services to provide on the platform. Most of the services right now, just to get into the market, we create on our own. But now that we're in the market with about 100,000 trackers, also our customers now start to build their services on our platform. So in the future, that's one of our main targets, that we offer everyone on an open API solution, offer everyone to build their services on our device. Proof of concept, as I just said, we have now 100,000 trackers sold and delivered. The plan for 2022 is to deliver 350,000 trackers. So this installed base gives us a chance to provide services and to push the change in the fields of transportation and cities. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And again, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Mario. Marco's going right into it. Ask your question. You have raised your hand. Feel free to.
Hi, Mario. Thank you for your presentation. Sounds amazing and innovative. What is your wish customer? Because you said you have already delivered it to Riese and Müller. Is your give us a feeling of your wish customer in the bicycle market? Is it like specialized Canyon and those kind of area, or is it more a community? And in the PropTech market or in the properties, where is the best use case for you? So is it the one who provides the property? Is it the one who owns it? Is it the one who will maintain it? Give me an idea, please.
Yeah. So our wish customer right now, obviously, is one that we can work together and grow the platform with. So when we go into a market, and for example, in the verticals right now we are in, but also in new verticals we want to go in, we are not the smartest guys in their respective market. So we want their know-how and their market understanding to grow their beliefs with us. So we provide them the hardware, we provide them the software, and give them the chance, especially in hardware-driven markets, to keep the customer interface. So in terms of digitization, if you're like a hardware provider or a bike retailer, they have the risk of losing the customer interface in the future, and we give them a chance to keep it. And that's the reason we want to grow with them, to give them an opportunity to create services based on our hardware. So that's mainly the focus we have. So if someone wants to digitize their hardware business, then we have the right solution for them.
All right. Did that answer your question, Marco? Perfect. Further question, we have 1 minute left, or 1 minute to go. If there are any further, or write in the chat, feel free.
If we have 1 minute, I would like to add a question. So the German word for that is Kundenbindung. So in English word, to connect the retailer of a bike or to connect the maintenance company of a building to your application. What is the use case for that? So meaning, is it to have more data about the customer? For example, in the bike business, I could imagine how much he drives, how much he used the bike, how much he has repair settings. Is that the data you would like to offer?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So, for example, that how much it was used, how fast it was used, and everything regarding that. And also another one, for example, in terms of, because you said in the field, for example, wouldn't it be great to be able to offer service to the bike, not just at a store, but also right on the street. So if you drive to work and say my backlight doesn't work, or something is wrong with my bike, we can provide the location of the bike, and it could be maintained just in front, on the street, just in front of your work. So that's the kind of use cases that are possible with a connected bike, and make the vision of Internet of Things really true. Yeah.
Is there is this just an idea with the, let's say, the German organization for ADAC for the service support for the cars? I don't know if there is any existing for the bike market. Is there any company who does that? I don't know.
Yeah, there are companies based on basically mainly in cities, which have city markets right now. But we're right now working on that and trying to scale that.
Cool.
And make
Sounds
that
great.
bigger.
Good application. Good.
Thank you very much, you both, for the presentation, Mario. Then we will jump into Christian Tapp. Didn't raise his hand back.
Oh, if it's too late, it's fine.
Well, we can discuss it in afterwards if that's fine with you, Christian.
It surely is.
Perfect. Because we're running out of time, so I would go with Tony about BillionLives, and the stage is yours.
Yeah. So can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm Tony, head of products at BillionLives. I'm here to talk about our ESG assessment and sustainability reporting platform, ImGrows. So a little bit about our past. BillionLives is a company that focuses on impact tech, and we've been around for around 5 years. And over that time, we have developed multiple solutions that hope to kind of positively impact the lives of people, and we have also managed to quantify a lot of that impact. And as our name suggests, we hope to touch 1 billion lives, and so far we managed to touch around 22 million lives, as you can see. With this experience, we've kind of embarked on developing a new product for ESG. So what is ESG? ESG is largely the different aspects or topics a corporate is supposed to follow. So E stands for it accounts for all the company's utilization of natural resources and how it affects the environment. The S largely deals with how a company deals with its relationship with its workforce and what are the societal and the political environment around that workforce. And the G stands for governance aspects with respect to policy making and decision making for multiple stakeholders, shareholders, your managers, board of directors, etc. But the ESG market itself is huge, and it's been growing exponentially over the last decade. As you can see, Bloomberg one of the reports of Bloomberg states that it's a $38 trillion industry as of 2021, and it's hoped to hit 53 trillion by 2025. And around the world, we are seeing more and more regulators coming in and enforcing such ESG mandates, like in SFDR in EU, there's Net Zero Banking Alliance, and even back in India, where I'm from, there's something called BRSR that's being mandated by the government from the next financial year. But there's a huge problem or a huge gap that we're trying to address here. So a lot of the corporates that come in do not really understand how to start their ESG reporting journey. They don't understand how to identify the material topics, how to set your baselines, how to identify your interventions, what are the different projects that you can do in your company, and how to collect the fragmented data that is across your organization. And finally, to understand where you stand among your peers. So this is where we come in. ImGrows or ImpactGrows is an ESG assessment and sustainability reporting platform, which it's a SaaS platform that easily helps you simplify your entire ESG journey. So the platform itself is divided into 3 main modules. It's materiality assessment, ESG strategy, and sustainability reporting. So the materiality assessment module largely deals with conducting surveys and multiple polls that can be conducted to identify and shortlist the topics that are relevant to your company. The ESG strategy and execution module helps you set up interventions and set up projects and monitor the baseline and the targets of those particular projects. And sustainability reporting module kind of puts together all this information, brings all this data together in a neatly reportable format that you can disclose at the end of the year. The different use cases that we cater to, largely for corporates, is a direct fit. They can kind of sign up on our platform and use our SaaS platform to directly map their entire ESG journey. When it comes to consultants and government entities, they are able to impose their ESG mandates for a group of corporates if they require. When it comes to investors and banks, it's a slightly different use case where largely they're able to understand and they're able to monitor the ESG status real time of their clients and use that information to kind of decide on if they are, if they can be funded, if we can allocate loans to those particular clients and as such. So we believe that by providing such insights or making the corporate stand the data, we can drive them towards a sustainable future. So hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, again, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I just got a notification that my net was yeah. So with respect to the platform, we are able to help you set your goals, pick out what are the topics that are relevant to you, collect survey data and visualize that survey data and drive actionable insights. Now, with these actionable insights, we hope that the corporate itself will be able to redefine and reassess their sustainability interventions and get to a better future as they go ahead. With respect to the technology aspect of it, we are largely built on an open source stack. Since there's a lot of collaboration involved, we are largely API friendly, and the software itself is containerized for scale. A little bit about the three main aspects or the layers of technology that actually play with this IoT, blockchain, and machine learning. So if you have, for example, if you're a factory, if you're a company with multiple factories and in multiple locations around the world, we can use your existing IoT network or provide our own sensors to kind of pull information regarding GHG emissions, water consumption, electricity, all that into our platform. And we're using blockchain in the background to kind of secure that information to ensure that nobody is mutating the data. And we use machine learning for things like fraud detection to understand where your ESG ratings stand, how good you're doing over time, and again, to drive actionable insights so that at the end of the day, you're able to make some decisions about your interventions. If you're hitting your targets, if you're in the right direction, and finally use those interventions to kind of, move towards a sustainable future. And this is the team that's made it happen. We have a good mix of techno business roles. I think a few of my colleagues have joined in as well. Yeah, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony, for the pitch. So, questions? Are there any questions? Feel free to raise your hand or to write into the chat. We'll wait a second to write the questions. Otherwise, I have a certain question, or I'm always interested in what kind of the biggest challenge for you right now in the particular moment is, and especially in the software and ESG data. So if you could provide me an example, how would you say, like, this is kind of the biggest challenge? On the one hand, it's a very regular question, but yeah.
So for us right now, we are since we are basically a SaaS platform, we are adding more IoT-based aggregators or sustainability startups for that matter. That's how we're able to kind of pull in the GHG emissions, water, electricity, such data. So onboarding those guys is definitely a task. We are kind of building the API frameworks and kind of tweaking as we go. Other than that, I think having clients and figuring out what their actual pain points are with respect to varying use cases with respect to clients. That's also a point that you're struggling with. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Sounds pain points. Yeah, sure. Perfect. Anyone who might unmute himself? Otherwise, we would start. We would go next with our next startup. Otherwise, you're also free to ask questions afterwards when it's not recorded, live streamed or anything. So yeah, then we would jump into Philo with Aurora.
Yes. Okay, you see my presentation and hearing me, most importantly.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Philo. I'm here from Aurora. I'm one of the founders of Aurora, and I want to tell you something about what we are doing and how we want to change the way we are eating and how to improve our health in that way. So most of you guys, I think, know that food is the way we are eating is related to a lot of good and bad things. So if you want to have, let's say, some fitness goals, or you want to stay in shape, you need to control what you're eating. If you're having diabetes, you need to control what you're eating. If you're having a heart disease, the same. So food has a lot of impact on the way we behave, on the way we feel, and on our health in total. And today there is no automation for that. So what you have today is you can automatize the tracking process for your fitness, for sleeping, for your health in general, with heart rate tracking and heart rate variability. So there's a lot of tracking out there to monitor your body, but there's no tracking out there to monitor the way you fuel your body. Huh? And we want to change that. We have like 7 million people in Germany that are tracking their nutrition manually. So they're using apps, and they measure everything, they weight it, and then they track it in an app, and to get the calories, to get the nutritional facts of the food they eat, and then to make decisions on what to eat more, what to eat less, and how to adapt. That's as I said, pretty manual process. And as we found in our survey, almost half of the people that are doing it because they have no other choice to do it like this, but they're not really satisfied with it. And but much more people that are not tracking at the moment are not tracking their food and their nutrition because it's so unsatisfying and so complicated. And they would track if it would be much more easy. And we asked the people, what's the problem? And they said, it's too complicated. It's too time consuming, so much effort to do this. And they are just annoyed to do everything on their own. And yeah, it's a horrible process. I did it myself. I lost 30 kilos on that way. And yeah, you don't want to do it. So we want to change this. And how we do this? We do it with a cutting board. Nutrio is our first product. It's the first smart cutting board in the world. And Nutrio can track, detect, and measure foods on its own. So we're using artificial intelligence for that. So you just place the food, like you see the apple in the picture, put it on it, push one button, Nutrio detects the apple, recognizes it, fetches the corresponding nutritional data, and calculates it based on the weight you see there. The same is true for packaged foods. They have a barcode, so Nutrio just scans the barcode and detects it, and synchronizes everything to our app. So basically what does Nutrio? It recognizes foods, whether they are packaged or fresh, calculates the data for you. You just use it like a normal cutting board. You cut on it, you cook with it. You can easily switch cutting boards on the surfaces. Everything gets synchronized to the app. And when you're done, you have a full overview, even on the boards itself, on the display, and in your app. So when you're done with cooking, everything is already in your app. The app is basically a dynamic nutrition diary that helps you collect the data easily and automate it for you, prepares the information for you so you can make easy decisions based on the nutritional intakes and what you're eating. You get individual nutrition plans based on your diet behavior and on your goals. And you can also integrate your nutritionist. So if you're already working with a nutritionist, you have the same problem. You have to get all the data manually, give it to your nutritionist, and then the nutritionist tells you what to do. We want to automatize that too, so the nutritionist can be part of the app too here, and directly talk to his clients, and get direct feedback. Where are we at the moment? This year we started with a crowdfunding campaign. So we did social ads and all that stuff, collected leads, converted them, and then made a pre-sales campaign. So we had 100,000, a little bit more than 100,000 euros in revenue this year through that. We had a pretty good ROAS, I think. The customer acquisition costs are a little bit high. I think we can get them down a little bit more in the future. On the right side, you can see where we want to go. Next year, we want to increase the sales from the 350 boards we sold this year to 1,000 boards and 2,500 users in our app. And we want to scale that up in 2023 with a Series A and get into bigger numbers for Europe and the US market in the future. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Christian, you raised your hand.
Yeah, first of all, great idea. I love your product and would totally suit my needs. Just have one question, because I picture myself being in the kitchen and using that right now before lunchtime. And what kind of, how much manual intervention I would still need to input into the iPad, for example, so that the spread recognizes what do I put on. So
usually you would let's say if you're making a lunch or something, or make a let's say muesli, you take an apple or whatever fruit you want, and you would weight it on your kitchen scale. That's manually. Then you get out your phone and type in the weight of the apple, and that's the tracked process. With Nutrio, you just put the apple on the cutting board, push one button, wait 2 to 3 seconds to get the information, and then you can easily start preparing. So you immediately start cutting, remove all the parts you don't want to eat, for example, and then you just click on the next button. So for the next food, and you go on for the process, and so it's only one click.
It recognizes either it's an apple or it's a banana or it's something processed. Like, what's
we use it's a deep learning system. So basically, there's a little camera in the top corner of the display device you saw, and it just looks on the cutting surface. So if you place food there, it just takes a picture and analyzes the picture.
Cool, man. I have to admit, best pitch so far I've seen in a long time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And that in English. Usually I'm more eloquent in German.
Thank you very much. Chris, you had a question as well.
And it was already answered, so thank you very much.
Perfect.
You're always welcome to come to the Hub31. We were sitting here too, and try it yourself.
I will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Ara's asking in the question in the chat about DSGVO. So what's about this certain topic?
Could you concrete?
Datenschutzgrundverordnung in German.
Yeah, if you're using a product for nutritional data, you have to sign a contract with us, obviously, and the data is stored on our system in Germany. So we're using German servers, and it's all encrypted, and the camera doesn't see anything from you, so it just looks at the cutting surface, so you don't get personal data of the people.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Philo. And then we will go to wiCow and Tolga with our last pitch for today.
Hello, everybody. This is Tolga. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of the company. wiCow is an artificial intelligence-based smart early warning technology for the health tracking of cattle, buffalo, and also dairy cows. So the problem in the world, there's 1 billion cattle in the world, and some of them is also lose their life because of the not attention at the right time. That we are focusing on this. If we are looking at a small scale as a farm, there is a really huge amount of money is also lost, and also a huge amount of animal is also lost because of the calving difficulties and also cattle healthy level. There is lots of IoT devices in the market, but it is not prevented. So if we are going to calculate it in global scale, there is a 69 million euro of losses per year. Especially some country is really bad situation. The average ratio is the 6% of calf is also dead, and also depending on the difficulties. And what is our solution? We also developed hardware to send data from inside the vagina, and we understand some activity data, temperature data, and also some additional information from the cattle. And there is a really great collected data because it is also different kind of organ in the body. So we send it all of the information to the cloud, and our artificial intelligence based software is also calculating. And if there is a requirement, we will send notification to our customer in time. So we save the life with this method. So we are tracking the cows in some period of time. In the prepartum period is also really important, like the human, and also postpartum is also really liked by the human. So cow is also a sensitive animal, and they will have to observe in this period. And after then, the health level is really huge than before. And our devices is also medical grade material, and you can also clean it and use it again with the new animal. And what is the differences of our system? Our accuracy is really high, almost 93% accuracy of our result. And we will also achieve this result by using the system intravaginally, and we get really different kind of data from the body, and we understand the hormonic differences of the body in closing to a health situation. So our status now, we have some customer in the field. Now we collected more than 2 million hours of data from inside the cow. We didn't harm any animal. We already saved the 801 calf now, and also lots of mother cow is also saved by our system. And we give the correct time of the calving and correct time of the health situation. In the market in Europe, 6 million cattle in Europe and 120 million cattle in North America. We have a few customers in North America, and especially in Germany, Italy, Denmark, Portugal, and also Turkey. We have customers, and we try to spread out our system as possible as to prevent the problem in the field. We have our core team is here. We are 20 people, and we have a different kind of approach. We have mentors and we have engineers. We try to educate people when they also enter our community, and we will provide them know-how, and after that they will also continue their works. So the system seems like that, and we are an online system, and when there is a situation, you can get the information you cow when you're using our technology. So thank you very much for your attention. That is the end of my presentation.
Thank you very much, Tolga. Interesting insights. Anyone question towards Tolga? So far. Well, then I go first. So my question would be about what are the major pain points when working with agricultural companies or cow farms or something like that. So what are their biggest barrier or your biggest barrier to overcome those steps?
Yeah, there is lots of system to tracking the cattle, but our system is also depending on the health station and the blind part of the system. In the prepartum and the postpartum tracking, it is almost empty. Most of the farmers didn't look at this picture. So when the agricultural sector understand what is the differences, lots of distributor in the Europe is also knocking our door to selling our product, but it is the new situation for now. But I think I can say like this. I'm not sure is the correct answer for you.
What was the question? It's the last one, as I didn't got it.
Yeah, it's yeah. That's the situation of us. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. So understand. Cool. So thank you for the answer. And any further questions for Tolga or wiCow? If not, I'm going to do the outro. Thank you very much for being here, for everyone. Thank you very much for the startups for their pitches. I will do now one short survey, which is kind of for our internal process about how you would rate the format in general, or how do you enjoy the formats. And then yeah, Laura will say a few words, and otherwise I will end the screen and we can have an open chat, not recorded. So So, okay, I just see the poll is inactive. Well then, Laura, some last few words.
I want to say thank you, Marian, for the cooperation and the possibility that I was here. And thank you to all the other startups. Thanks to Aurora from Hub31 and to the other 3 ones from TechQuartier community. Thanks for the event and have a nice day.
Thank you too. So I'm closing the live stream. Even though I let my email down in the chat function, so if you want to connect, or even though the startups can leave their emails to connect with each other, feel free to reach out. Otherwise,